So if we look at these then, Dean, certainly it's set up. You can hopefully see on these two images now, the right hand one there, much more kind of behind the golf ball now with this setup, which is what you want, okay? This one here now, you had your hands forward and the head sort of leaning much on your left side. Your left side was almost straight up there from a vertical position, from that left heel, left knee, left hip, left shoulder. Because of this on the way back, you had to sway to get off that ball. If you stay there now, put so much pressure on your left knee, that amount of lateral movement is going to be tough to judge. You're moving, we want rotational movement with a little bit of sort of lateral movement, but that amount from there to there, it's just, you're trying to judge that. It's going to be more of a guess rather than actually any kind of consistency, okay? So staying behind the golf ball here, okay, we're going to try and stay there, okay? Now in fairness, there's going to be a little bit of a sway as we said, okay, as you go back, but at least here now you're not moving off the ball quite so much. Now if you move this far on the way back and you move too far beyond the outside of your right knee, there's no way for your knee to start moving the correct way in towards target, because if your head's over here somewhere and the knee goes in that way, you just topple over. So your body has to sort of stay inside the confounds of the outside legs of your feet and your knees. If you tilt too much, and when you're trying to get bigger, if you're swaying that much, it's very, very easy to sort of go too far that way. So if you get too far behind the ball, the knee can be, but looking at this movement here now, nice little bump coming down. That knee for me is working pretty good. Yeah, it's good. It's moving good. It's moving in towards the golf ball. There's a good movement there, okay. Club face back to the golf ball nice and square and releasing through to a pretty good position on the way through. Okay, this is one of the better ones, to be fair. But that move with that knee now is good. The problem is when you had so much lateral movement, you got yourself in positions where you couldn't move the knee, but the lateral movement came from that setup. So if you started too far on this left side, you either stay there, put pressure on your knee, which is going to cause you more long-term issues anyway, and come down very steep into the golf ball, or you sway off it and move laterally on the way back. When you time that well, you're okay. But if you moved a bit too much going back, and again, sometimes we've all been there. On the range, I'm having a torrid time and you get a bit stressed out and you're gripping it tighter. The range of motion is worse. You try and then swing the club back faster. Your body now, rather than going to there, would kind of go to here. Well, then you're outside of your right leg. I try to move that knee back in. Like, I can't go anywhere. And so in that split second from kind of top of the backswing here at, say, 5.3, back to impact 5.6. So sort of 300 of a second, it's gone, isn't it? Okay. So if we can just get that sensation, we're a bit more kind of equaled off with the setup there, or more neutral, I suppose. With an ideal world, you want your shoulders, hips to be nicely in line but slightly tilted, because the hands, we said before, lower than your left hand, okay? So there should be a slight tilt in your body, okay? And your weight now should be probably roughly like 60-40 on that right side. I would say at setup, you are probably someone who's sort of 70% on the left side. A lot of weight there. Again, you can't stay there. With a wedge or an iron, you get away with that, because the swing being a bit steeper wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, but with the drive, you need to create a shallower angle of attack. Yes, we can still come down like 1 or 2 degrees, but coming down this way is going to be difficult, okay? So getting loose. If it starts having a real shocking time and the ball's all over the place, take the drive out of your hands, just make some small moves, get your contact back. Again, build that movement back into your game, because then the more you start making shorter swings, the less you're going to sway. So you'll start getting more kind of rotational movements rather than a big lateral movement to the side. That kind of makes sense, then, yeah?
No, that's a lot better.
Good. Yeah, I think it's definitely. I think if you can stand more neutral, for me, it's the process. If you stand better, you can swing better. If you can swing better, hit the ball better. If you start off in a poor position, you've got to do one of two things: either stay on the left side and get steep, no good, or you've got to sway to the right side. You could get good with that, but it's just 1 good, 2 bad, 4 good, 3. But it's just there's no consistency. That frustration we get from when we get one, I've got it. 250 dead straight, and then when it goes next one goes off the side in, it's the side wall at 50 yards down the range. Yeah. Okay, mate.